the Aspire to Be podcast. I'm Catherine and I'm Sales and Marketing Leader at Aspire to Be. And today we're joined by John Parker, who's our software engineer at Aspire to Be. Hi John, thank you for joining us today.
Hi.
So John, first of all, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself? So how did you get into software engineer and, a bit about your background?
Well, I started when I was very young. I think I remember being 11 years old when I first messed about with websites. Mainly because I used to look at websites like BT, just randomly, because that was our internet provider, and I decided that I wanted to know how they did it, because they used to have this lovely website with like Chrome, glossy buttons and stuff. It's like, how is that done? And I was curious, being a child. So I right-clicked and chose View Page Source, because I saw that was an option. I just never clicked it before. And when I clicked it and I saw all the markup for the code, I got really excited about that. I was like, what is all this? I was really fascinated by it. So I had this marvellous idea to copy-paste that and save it as a file that I saw with the URL on my computer and see, does that do anything? And sure enough, very brokenly, it worked. And it came up with a really bad version of that site. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And from there on, I did research into how to try and get it to look right. What could I do? What could I change? And that carried on until about start of secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking into, okay, well, I can make really bad mock-ups of websites. What can I do now? I was looking into ways of doing actual programming, and at the time, I didn't realise that Microsoft had a solution for that. So I was looking into things that weren't really proper programming tools, but they gave you a kind of rough idea of how to do programming.
Yeah.
And by the end of secondary school, I finally had found Microsoft's Visual Studio solution, and I was going through all that. And I'd learnt Visual Basic, and then C#, and then touched a bit into C++. And by this time, I was like, right, I know what I want to do. I want to go into a software engineering role. So I went to University of Wolverhampton and applied for the software engineering degree, and went through 3 years of that. Almost failed because of stress.
Yeah.
But no, I got the first class, and then that was it. 2017, I'd got the degree.
Brilliant, congratulations. There's a big difference between almost failing and getting a first class degree.
They literally said to me, you're either going to fail or get first class. I'm like, oh,
no,
okay.
Brilliant. No, nothing in between. Oh, brilliant. Oh, well done. That's great. So it's obviously been a real passion for you then. So is there anything else that you enjoy doing as well in your spare time? Or?
Music is my second passion.
Yeah.
It's more of a hobby. I'm not getting paid for anything, but I like composing and performing on keyboard.
Yeah.
I can do piano a little bit, and organ as well.
Oh, the organ. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I haven't played organ for a short while, but I used to be rather good at it, so I think it'll be all right now. But my main thing now is keyboard and messing about with soundtracks and themes and things like that.
Okay. So does that tie in, obviously, with the coding background? They say it's quite similar, isn't it, to read music and read code?
Yeah, I guess so. The music notes look kind of logical, and you are just technically reading symbols, and as long as you learn what those symbols are, you can do it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It can get complicated. Obviously, both hands, two separate brains, I'm a little bit struggling. That's why I don't really do piano, because piano requires left hand and right hand to be completely separate.
Okay.
And it messes with my brain. That's why keyboard is easier, because chord.
Oh, it's just, right, okay.
Mostly, but I have been doing left hand work recently.
So with the organ then, where do you play that? It's not the sort of thing you can have in the house.
But I do have a second-hand organ in the house.
In the house?
Yeah.
How big is that?
It's not one of those big organs. It's just an electric.
Right, because in my
It looks
head
like a
I've got those
keyboard,
ones
but
like in the church.
No,
like
no. No, I don't have a house that big. No, I don't have an electric organ. I had one back. I bought back when I was practicing at the music place that I was learning how to do music. But yeah, no, I haven't played it for a while. But that's even more complicated, because you've got left hand, right hand, and then foot pedals on top.
No, I'm lost already. I've got no chance.
But luckily, again, chords on the left hand makes everything else a little bit easier.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, again, I haven't done that for a while. I like to, but
yeah. Oh, great. Busy then. Lots of hobbies.
Yeah.
Great. So within your role then at Aspire to Be, what sort of things do you do on a day-to-day basis? What's your normal jobs?
So my main role is, as it says in the title, software engineer. My job is to go through the projects that I'm tasked with and code any solutions that we haven't got out of the box with what we currently have, the tools we currently have. I worked on and built the entire EDCR platform, the new one that I was tasked with. And I also do a few other odd jobs for One Step North and Inspire You.
Okay.
But my other role, which is like a secondary thing that comes with the territory, is systems administration, or system administrator, because I manage the servers that code runs on. But that's just because I have to, because it's part of the territory.
Yeah, okay. So what sort of, in terms of your projects then, what do you really enjoy working on?
I'm a fan of data collection and stuff like that, so that's why I like TDCR a lot, because it is just forms, collecting that data and then putting it into a graph, and then allowing it so that the staff can pull that information into a report. So I like that type of thing because it's very structured, and it's very office-like. There's nothing flashy about it.
Yeah.
But I do like doing flashy stuff.
So what's a flashy thing to you then?
So like websites or apps that do a lot of animations and colours and flashes. Doesn't look so boring.
Right, okay, yeah.
Boring I can do, but flashy stuff is still, I'm still touching the water on,
yeah.
Because animations are hard work.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. So is there anything that you really maybe don't enjoy as much? Is there anything that comes up and you think, oh God?
Data entry.
Okay.
Doing a lot of, because obviously when working with test data, if I have to then just go through, like for example with ECR forms, I have to fill in all the forms, test them, make sure they're working correctly, make sure they're producing the right results. Creating the forms as well, so if I'm giving the forms to put into the system, obviously that can take a lot of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not fun doing that. But again, it comes as part of the job. So.
Yeah. I suppose you've got like highs and lows, haven't you?
Yeah.
So is there a standout project that you've worked on that you've thought has really, gotten you excited, really engaged you?
I'd say DCR, because it was huge.
Yeah.
A huge project.
So did you build it right from scratch?
Right from scratch, yeah.
So that's hell of an achievement, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're allowed to say yes. Yes, it is. Well done.
No, but I based it off of the Google site that we'd had at the time, and I wanted to just copy that directly to start with. I knew that later on we'd change the design, which is what we're working on now, but it was fun to try and replicate that as best as possible, have it function the same way and better.
Yeah.
But at the same time know that in the future we're probably going to be sticking stuff to it, making it more expansive. So it was a lot of working out quite a few challenges, programming wise, to try and get the result the way they wanted it.
Okay.
And being my first big project,
Yeah.
I learned a lot from it, and still am learning a lot from it.
Great. And how do you find working with the team as well?
Great.
Yeah.
Really easy to work with them.
Good.
As I say, it's opened up me a lot to, because of being socially anxious. It was a bit scary at first, but they're really helpful.
Yeah.
So it's opened me up quite a bit.
Good. Great. It's good to hear. So in terms of what next, I mean, is there anything that you want to build into your repertoire? Is there anything that you'd like to sort of work on?
At the current moment in time, I don't have as much work in actual software that I used to build in my hobby days, like actual desktop applications and things like that. At the moment, we don't have a desire to need to make that.
Yes.
So I don't have any reason to do that. But I would like that to be a possible option in the future. So it's something I want to touch on, but in a professional environment. Yeah. At least.
Yeah. Okay. And what about, so do you do coding and this sort of work in your spare time as well?
Yeah.
So what sort of thing do you do?
I'm a tester in a way. I like to test different ideas out. I don't really make anything that's going to be really useful unless it's something that is being called for. My main thing recently is learning about... I'm a Windows geek.
Okay.
I love everything to do with Microsoft Windows.
Right, okay.
And from a young age I used to do a lot of research into back-end APIs and stuff like that. And even to this day, I will keep an eye on what Microsoft's up to and see if I can mess about with whatever they've recently come out.
Yeah.
So a lot of my software engineering now is just at home is just experimenting with new APIs, new features, new whatever they've come out with.
Yeah. Okay.
And see what I can do with it.
Fiddling around, basically.
Yeah. Because the more you do that, the more you learn about it. The more you learn about it,
Yeah,
the more you might be able to
absolutely.
use it in your job.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Marvelous. So again, in terms of work, then, what next? What projects have you got on the horizon? What's coming up? Anything exciting?
Currently, I'm working on the Guernsey project.
Okay.
But I'm also doing the redesign for EDCR. So that'll be a complete rewrite of most of the UI.
Another huge project then.
Yeah. And a lot of pitfalls because you know there's going to be problems.
Yeah, inevitably.
But and I think I'm not sure about anything else from the other side.
Well, those are two pretty big projects to keep you going anyway, aren't they?
Yeah. They are a high priority as well.
Yeah.
Particularly the Guernsey one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically my focus at the moment.
Brilliant. Keep you busy then for the next couple of
Yeah.
months. Great. Okay, so we're going to finish on a quick fire question round, okay? Are you
Okay.
ready?
I do.
Okay, summer or winter?
Summer.
Really? I thought you didn't like the heat.
I don't, but it's bright and I like light environments.
Okay. If you were going to have any pet, would it be a cat or a dog?
Dog.
What kind of dog?
Jack Russell.
Oh, really? I don't think they're too yappy.
I can put up with that. I just like the aesthetic of them.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay. Google or Apple?
Google.
I was going to ask Microsoft, but I think I'd know the answer to that one.
If that was on the list, yes, that would
Yeah. Okay. What flavour ice cream would you have? Any flavour in the world?
be. Rum and raisin.
Oh, quirky choice. Love it. Okay, brilliant. Thank you for joining us today, John. It's been really enjoyable. Thank
Thanks.
you.